Hello there, everybody, and welcome once again to the Gaily Review
and sing again. That means
my special guest star, Pam. So today we're going to talk about the celebrities that we've met over the years. We have met a good amount individually and an even greater amount together. So what do you want to do first? You want to do the rating thing first, and what celebrities rated? And
no, I think you should ask or throw out who's the nicest,
That's what I'm saying,
the most
yeah.
awful.
Right. So for you, who was the nicest celebrity?
Definitely Junie Allison, definitely.
Okay, June Allison, for those of you that don't know who Junie Allison is. And for me, it would definitely positively be Elizabeth Montgomery. I've mentioned that before. I met her at Gay Pride, I believe.
Wasn't Dick Sargent with her?
Yeah, Dick Sargent was the...
They were the MCs of the parade.
MC.
Yeah.
And I want to say...
Grand Marshal, that's
Grand Marshal. I was like 1990. I'm almost positive that was the year. One of the nicest. She was the nicest, by far. Okay, how about the meanest celebrity? The one that you didn't like for whatever reason, whether they were mean or what?
Lucy, God, I've told my story a million times about how I was playing backgammon with Lucy. Patty and I were over there, and I was playing backgammon with her to save Patty's ass, because Patty didn't know how to play it, and she didn't like to play games with Lucy anyway because she was too competitive. So
who was too competitive?
Lucy. And anyway, so Patty, to save Patty, I said, oh, well, I'll play backgammon with you, and I just recently learned how to play from Maxine.
Okay, before we go any further, this is a show that, you know, they don't really know you or me that well, so they don't know who, and you're saying Patty
The Andrews sisters.
Because?
One of them was my adopted mother.
And the other one is your aunt.
Yeah. Maxine liked to win things also, but sometimes not exactly on the up and up. So when Maxine taught me to play backgammon, her rules differed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there and I'm playing with Lucy and I'm using the rules that Maxine had taught me.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden she starts screaming at me and accusing me of cheating. It was horrible.
I never heard that story before.
Yeah, I think you did.
Well, maybe I just zoned out. I don't remember it though.
Who's the meanest one you ever met?
It's a tie. It's a toss-up between Lily Tomlin and Shirley MacLaine. Now, Lily Tomlin, I told you, I think, before that I had met her. She did a book signing at Book Soup here in, well, I don't even know if it's there anymore, in Hollywood, California, on Sunset.
Yeah, I like Book Soup.
And she had written a book. She was doing a book signing, and I had just seen the Streisand concert about maybe a month before.
Which Streisand concert?
The big one in Vegas, the 93-4 concert. And I was wearing the t-shirt from the concert, and I got up to the front of the line, and it was visible that Lily Tomlin and her girlfriend at the time, I think they're married now, I'm not sure. Jane something, were fighting. And I got up there and I said, nice to meet you, Miss Tomlin, and I gave her the book to sign, and she looked at me, and she looked me up and down with this nasty look. And she said, you went to the Streisand concert? And I said, yes. And she said, didn't she overcharge for that thing? And I just took the autograph and I walked away, and that was that. Now, Shirley MacLaine, she did a book signing at Bookstar in Northridge, and I went to her, and I told her that I knew Maxine, her aunt, because I did, and I thought they were friends, but I don't know how good of friends they were because Shirley MacLaine looked a little disgusted with me when I told her that. So
no, she knew Patty. She and Patty would go to that beauty parlor every
So I told her the wrong sister?
It's the wrong sister.
Oh.
But she was always very nice to me, and you know what? There was only one of her. There was never any outer space Shirleys or future Shirleys or past Shirleys.
Yeah.
She was always nice and entertaining.
I only saw one that day too. How about the celebrity you were most impressed by, most in awe of? That's a good one.
Charlie Chaplin. Patty and I were at the farmer's market, and a man named Jerry, I forgot, Weintraub or something, who was Charlie Chaplin's agent, came over to us and said to Patty, Mr. Chaplin would like you to sit with us. Mm-hmm. And so we did, and there we were. He was an old man. I think he died either that year or the next year. And we sat at the tables outside of the farmer's market, and I cannot believe I'm sitting here having lunch with Charlie Chaplin, the Charlie Chaplin.
Did he talk to you?
He talked. He mostly held Patty's hand, and he humble and liked her and loved
That
her.
would must have been like the 70s, right?
Yes,
Sometime, yeah.
of course, it's the 70s.
Now, my most impressed by, well, I don't know if it counts, and I don't want you guys to hear the lecture. I really
You got to
don't.
hear the lecture.
But I did happen to be eating dinner at P.F. Chang's right after a premiere of a Streisand movie, and she was at the P.F. Chang's also, because it turns out she was in the audience in the very, very back,
Trying to get reactions.
gauging reactions, and then they went to dinner after that. Now, I did sit about 2 tables away.
God almighty. And I must interrupt you. He freaking was good friends with Barbara's son, Jason.
Well, not good friends.
Oh, well,
I
I
wouldn't
considered
say.
us good friends with Jason.
But this guys is she was facing the wall away from me, and she had about 6 security guys facing out towards me, and I really didn't want to get tackled, and I thought it was best I leave her alone. I didn't want a bad impression, because I remember my uncle told me when I was very young that sometimes you don't want to meet your celebrity, the person that you admire, because it could ruin everything you feel about the person.
Ain't that the truth?
So I did not approach her, and I don't regret it, even though she regrets it more than I do. I really don't. But I did meet Seth Rogen. He came into the restaurant, and that's when I should have asked him if I could meet her, and that's where I did kind of blow it, but whatever. He was nice. We'll leave
Did
it
you
at
know
that.
I met one of the Munchkins? 2 of the
I
Munchkins.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Jerry Marin, I'm sure, is one.
that was the one. And his wife, who was I believe she was just a background Munchkin, but still,
Aw.
that was the coolest thing. I was having lunch with Patty
Uh-huh.
and Margaret O'Brien at the Sportsman's Lodge, and with 2 other friends. And one of the friends said, "Oh, Jerry and Elizabeth will be joining us soon." And nobody looked up, and I didn't think anything of it. And all of a sudden, in came the Lollipop Guild boy, and his
I
wife.
think it was a man at the time, but okay.
He was also the Oscar Mayer Wiener boy.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was. Jerry had a very lucrative career,
I-
being a little person.
I see that. Now, we also knew Rosemarie. Don't
Right.
forget Rosemarie.
Can't
with the
forget
bow in the hair from the
Rosemarie.
Dick Van Dyke Show. What did we think of Rosemarie?
She was funny, and she was making fun of the person we were with. No, she was funny. She was just a little. She used to call Patty up all the time, and Patty would say to me, "Tell her I'm not here." And then I would get stuck for 20 minutes on the phone with her.
Do you remember at Maxine's funeral, her Aunt Maxine's funeral, a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, asked for her autograph, and she autographed her name on the
Maxine's program.
program, the thing that they give you about the person, you know, like the
biography,
biography thing. That's where Rosemary decided to give her autograph.
Patty brought him in and out of the house. Maxine brought him in and out of the house. I had lunch with Gene Stapleton and Edith Bunker once.
Oh, what was she like?
Oh, that was so disappointing. That was at the height of All in the Family.
Ooh, nice time to meet her.
And we were meeting at this restaurant because she was an Andrews Sisters fan. She and Maxine somehow connected, and they asked me if I wanted to go too, so I did. So I got to the restaurant before Maxine and Linda, but Jean was already there. So I went in, and there she is sitting there, Edith Bunker, dingbat herself.
Okay.
And I said, "Hi, it's very nice to meet you. I'm Pam."
Uh-huh.
And she said to me in a very deep, non-Edith Bunkerish voice, "It's very nice to meet you too. You know, I have a daughter named Pamela also."
Oh, really?
I was so
she was
disappointed.
Why? It seems like she was nice.
Oh, she was great, but I was expecting, Chad.
Oh, that's what you were upset
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
she was going to be mean
No,
to you.
she was wonderful. How about Tab Hunter? Now, he was a cutie, a sweetie. I loved that man. He was really good friends with Maxine.
Who else have we met that? Oh, I met Wheezy Jefferson at
Oh,
a club.
God.
She was very nice. I didn't know a lot about her at the time. She was a very nice lady. She very nice.
Who else? We knew. We knew Milton. I knew George Burns from
You knew
Patty.
Joey Bishop.
Oh,
George.
Joey Bishop. You remember the Joey Bishop
You
story?
didn't like him.
He didn't like me.
Uh,
Do you remember what happened?
share it with the people.
The October 1st, 1987, the Andrews Sisters were getting a star finally in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So I had this brilliant idea. we will go. First, we were going to ask Bette Midler to come, but she was already pissed off with Patty by then, so she did not want to come. So I said, okay, let's get 3 famous male comedians and have them dressed up as the Andrews sisters, but don't tell Patty and Maxine, and just have them drive down in a Jeep down Hollywood Boulevard in the middle of all this, dressed as the Andrews sisters. The Andrews sisters. So I called Milton Berle.
Yes.
Got these numbers out of Patty's phone book, and he said he loves you. I said, all right, I'll get back to you with the details. I think Ernie Borgnine I called because he was a very good friend of Patty's.
Okay.
And Joey Bishop, who jumped right on that wagon.
Yeah, great.
And again, I said, I will get back to you with the details and the pickup and so on.
Sure.
Well, I don't know what happened. Everybody was fighting with everybody. Nobody knew which Andrews sisters were going to come to where. And then on top of it, there was an earthquake that day.
I remember.
The earthquake? So the 3 comedians dressed up as the Andrews sisters' idea was abandoned.
Oh, okay.
Except that Joey Bishop didn't quite figure that out by himself.
He didn't get the memo.
I never sent a memo. If I didn't call back with information, it wasn't going to happen. So, anyway, apparently he called Patty that night, and he was furious. He said he was sitting there in stockings and a dress and a whack outfit for the entire day waiting to be picked up by a limo.
Uh-oh.
So she made me call him and apologize. And I apologized. And
Was he
apologized.
nice?
No. It was not nice.
Well, I can understand why I'd get a little
But
upset.
who would get dressed when it hasn't been confirmed? And
But you need to call them and let them know it's not going to happen, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
And didn't you meet Liza Minnelli?
I had with Liza the entire summer of 1980 when Arthur was being filmed. We had the best time in the world.
She seems like a fun person.
You met her?
No.
Yes, you did.
I met her at a signing. Yes, I did, and she was a nice person. She was a very nice person. She had the most beautiful eyes. You know what? I forgot to ask them to do, Pam.
What?
Like, subscribe, and ring the bell and comment.
Ring that bell! Come on! Ring that bell! Ring that bell! You gotta ring that bell!
Okay, we got it. Ring it. Ring it. Anyways, I think that about... Oh, didn't you meet Bette Midler?
Yes.
How was Bette Midler?
That was very nice. Despite the unfortunate circumstances that I met her under, some crazy fan wrote a letter addressed to, and I had no experience at this point with harassment fan mail. Wrote a letter and sent it to the post office box, saying that he wanted to have sex with Patty, Maxine, and Bette on Laverne's grave. Now, Laverne didn't have a grave, but she has a
interred. She's
interred. Right, interred in the wall.
That's very weird. So she stopped talking to you because of that?
No. So I had no clue what to do with this thing. You know, I was scared to show Patty. I was scared to show Maxine. So I drove up to Bette's house and I knocked on the door and said, "Hey, I have a problem." And she knew who I was, you know. From
This is the first time you had met her.
That's the first time I had met her. But she knew who I was from the Andrews sisters, and we had friends in common. Her arranger, Mark Shaman, was very famous now.
Yeah,
actually.
very famous.
Mark and Scott.
So wait, what did she say?
Whitman. Scott Whitman.
Who's
And
that?
That's Mark's husband, but I just want to clarify what Scott I'm talking about.
Oh, well, what did she say when you brought her the letter?
Do you have an extra cigarette?
She smokes?
No, this was 1970 something or
Okay,
another.
so she smoked.
Everybody smoked.
What did she say about the letter?
That she would take care of it. And we talked, and she gave me something to eat, and we smoked, and then I left.
And I wasn't invited.
I didn't think I knew you yet.
Oh, okay. So there you go, guys. Those are some of the famous people that we've met. I'm sure we'll think of more people and maybe have another episode, who knows. But for
Until then, we'll keep
singing and dancing, but no goodbyes. All smiles, no backward glancing, and no goodbyes. Goodbye.